As one era ends, a digital one begins. But will this be the biggest mistake the industry has ever made? Hi, welcome to the On-Ramp. Today, we're diving into the games industry for our first official journalism piece. As Sony states, disc-based game media is planned to stop productions by 2028. We also speculate that other companies will follow in their wake, though we still can't help but wonder just how we got here. I had to think about why this news upset me, and well, you see, this physical form factor provided so much more than an empty wallet and a piece of plastic for the shelf. Quick trips to the store became fun for the whole family, from making friends to window shopping, deafening Christmas mornings, camping out, and even just taking your media over to a friend's house. It brought us all together in the ways that only the physical could. Okay, so sure, Rockstar going all digital for the upcoming title, GTA 6. It is a staple for games and game prices everywhere, but there are a lot of moving parts to this story, and we seem to have forgotten about them. So looking a ways back, in 2013, the Xbox One was revealed with some notable features. It would require a daily online check-in to validate that a game's disc was legitimately purchased. A month later, they would fall back on that feature, as this was also the first time we saw just how powerful consumers' unified backlash could be. The Xbox One would then go on to produce a record-breaking $2.5 billion. In 2012, one of the biggest fighting game collaborations ever in Street Fighter Cross Tekken would release. With some digging, in 2016, modders would find one of the first ever DLCs to release on a disc stuck behind a paywall. DLC practices would be forever rocked by this news, as trust was surely broken. In 2015, Konami would cancel Silent Hills, even removing its demo from the storefront forever. Later losing Hideo Kojima during Metal Gear Solid 5's production. This all enticed consumers to theorize that this was the end of commitment to AAA game production, as it was certainly the end of digital game preservation from one, or maybe even all, companies moving forward. In 2017, Battlefront 2 would tie loot boxes to in-game upgrades, creating the most publicly scrutinized system enticing gambling and pay-to-win ever. Now, in 2026, DRM returns as PlayStation rolled out a 30-day online license verification for new PS4 and PS5 digital purchases, and this sets further trust issues in motion for past and future buyers. For 25 years, Xbox hired on developers and seemingly stood by the successful ones until they would let go of Tango Studios and several others as well. Despite Tango Studios' massive success in Hi-Fi Rush and being the only Xbox Japan internal studio, there were major restructures happening as part of a bigger roadmap towards financial stability. The games industry being so public and widely accessible now definitely changes the trajectory of things quite a bit. It shows us how much money is moving and how quickly it has exploded into popularity over the years, with more demand than ever before, more money than anything else in the world. It even outsells movies now. If you've ever worked with a team on anything, even retail is a decent example, maybe you can now see, maybe even understand just how difficult it might be to make it all happen in less than a year. Sometimes these things created twice a year. It's rare that these companies even have 5 years to a project because they're not even established. We can't chalk everything up to mismanagement. Sometimes a team doesn't see eye to eye, or the game just flat out doesn't meet the vision, or advertisements. Though the flip side of this conversation is, Xbox and even Sony major hits were sometimes crunch titles and still came out on top. Some companies are definitely somehow outperforming others in this old way of timed resource management. Sony and Xbox both have funded gigantic ambitious projects recently. Their creations questionable, as they were all major failures to learn from. Concord from Sony costing over $200 million, Halo Infinite from Xbox being a $500 million budget and only recovering after major restructures. Marathon with no official record, but estimated estimated in the 300 million range. That game is hardly even broken even by reports, and even more on the way. This is not even mentioning major companies' investments and acquisitions of major publishers. Xbox said they've spent over upwards of 80 billion, and Sony disclosing over 6 billion. We could guess that's probably a bit more. These being no small costs. So today was an attempt to understand why this is a beneficial change that was inevitable. As if you think about it, while the thought of pre-owned games will go extinct, the stigmatism that things are somehow worth more now will surely fade, as we recall that game sales will still be a thing and that it isn't just speculation. Digital sales ultimately happen to entice consumers. When there is no longer production costs on the physical side, they start to recoup on their overall production losses, so there's always going to be a chance that you can try something new for less. And we honestly wonder if the stop of physical production will be enough to stop closing so many studios in the long run. Hey, thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. What do you think about all this? The loss of physical media? What are some of your favorite memories? Is it time for a new way of doing things? Just let me know what you think down below. You know, let's keep the conversation going, because I feel like this is a huge, major thing, and it's like history of the gaming industry. So I wanted to do something on it before it was a bit outdated. Check out some of this content at the end here if you're interested. We're trying to work on the channel a little bit. I'm getting pretty into it. I think we're getting better at this thing. So thanks so much for the support, and have yourselves a good day. Okay, bye now.